Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and today I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite places. But first, let me start with a question. How many of you have ever wanted to visit Libya? My guess is none of you. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about my experience in Libya and why it's become one of my favorite places. I'm going to talk about my experience in a small village called Beni Walid, as well as my time in Tripoli, the capital of Libya, and the different types of foods they have there. When we first arrived in Libya, we went to my husband's home village where he grew up. This was called Beni Walid. This is a very quiet village. There are a lot of dirt roads, not very many stop signs or stoplights, and there isn't a whole lot to do. Yes, there are some markets and some little shopping stores, but as a whole, we spend a lot of our time there visiting with family, drinking tea, and just enjoying each other's company. And that really is their day to day there. Men usually wake up first thing in the morning and go to the market to get the groceries that are going to be needed for the day, and then they're at home. This was really enjoyable for me. I live a very busy life, so to be able to go someplace and just relax and visit was great for me. One of the most important things there in Beni Walid is family. And I just don't think that there's enough of that here in the United States anymore. There was not a day that the brothers and the sisters of my husband were not over checking on their mom and dad. They weren't just there to see us. They were there to see his parents and make sure that they had everything that they needed. There was also a welcoming party where we had music and dancing, and it wasn't music on a radio. It was somebody coming with their accordion or their keyboard and playing that live music. In Beni Walid, men and women don't really intermingle a lot unless it's close family members. So a lot of my time there was spent with the women while my husband was with other men. I was lucky enough to have sister-in-laws that speak pretty fluent English because at that time I knew very little Arabic. So they were able to translate for me, so I didn't depend on my husband, which was really great because I really got to know them. And that was such an amazing experience. A few days after being in Beni Walid, we decided to take a trip to Tripoli. It's amazing to go from Beni Walid to Tripoli because Tripoli is very westernized. In Beni Walid, you see camels tied up to phone poles. In Tripoli, there are cars racing down the roads. There are people walking down the streets. Women are able to wear their hair down and wear short sleeves and skirts, whereas in Beni Walid, that's frowned upon. So while in Tripoli, we were able to see the Mediterranean Ocean. Tripoli is one of the largest ports for imports and exports. And we visited Lubda, which is, again, stepping into a completely different realm because that's where the Roman, the Roman era was. So there is a cathedral there. There are temples. There is the Colosseum. And it was absolutely breathtaking. Was like nothing I'd ever seen before. I could not believe the amount of people that were there, amount of tourists that were there from other countries like Egypt and Algeria. It truly is a tourist attraction. And I know, again, people don't think of Libya as a place to go and visit, but it was absolutely breathtaking. Also, while I was in Libya, I got to taste different kinds of foods. Macaroni, couscous, and rice are main staples in a lot of the meals. Those are served with lamb and chicken and even goat. And goat is delicious. I didn't think that I would like it, but it was delicious. There's also something called mutton, which is a popular Libyan dish, which is a potato wedge that's cut not all the way through, and it's stuffed with ground beef mixture and then fried. Wonderful. I would wish I could make that. And then we also ate something called bazine. Bazine is something that's served every Friday. Friday is kind of like our Sunday. It's day to go to the mosque and pray. Bazine is a barley dough ball. It has a texture of uncooked dough. It's made with barley flour, water, and salt. And that's placed in the middle of a lamb stew. And then people will eat it with their hands. My husband always says that food tastes better with eaten with hands. I don't necessarily agree, but they all ate it with their hands. And it was absolutely delicious. So these are a lot of memories that I take away from my trip to Libya, and I really hope that one day I'll be able to take my children there. Fortunately, due to the revolution, it's not safe for Americans to go there anymore. But I really am hopeful that one day I will be able to take my family and that they will be able to experience all the wonderful culture that I was able to in Libya. Thank you so much.